Well, hello, beautiful students, and welcome to class. Today's class is about unlocking your hidden power through doing shadow work. Now, we're going to cover 4 topics here that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to give you a link to a free course with the same title. You're going to be able to link to at the bottom, so stay with me. First of all, shadow work has a lot to do with dealing with the things that we don't see outright. It's all about the internal world, isn't it? And it's that world that's inside of our head and inside of our heart that we are keeping to ourselves. And so that's why it's called shadow work, because we're kind of keeping all of these things that are really causing our suffering in the shadows of who we are, in the shadows of our being. So I want to ask you 4 thought-provoking questions to get the ball rolling for you to think about what are your shadows? What is the shadow work that you need to do? So question 1 is, what is your shadow work? And when I say that, what I mean is I want you to think about what is it that you avoid? What is the thing that seems so daunting to you that it almost makes you tired when you think about it? And so you avoid it. It could be a circumstance from your past. It can be a pain that you once endured. It can be that thing that you just don't want to think about when it comes up. And if that's the case for you, and we all seem to have those at some point in our life, we have to look at those things, because until we do that, they remain in the shadows and they secretly and covertly are affecting a lot of the ways that we interact with other people, how we respond to the stimuli of life. And we keep going in this vicious circle of reacting instead of responding. And so the question you need to ask yourself is, what is that thing in your life that you avoid? 2, and this is really powerful, when things go wrong in your life, I want you to stop and take a moment, and you might already know the answer to this if you've already done some spiritual work on yourself. What is the voice that you hear when things are going wrong in life? And I want you to really take a minute to think about that. For me, it was my mother's voice telling me horrible things about myself. For other people, it could be an aunt, an uncle, someone in the family, someone at school. It could be you telling yourself certain things. But until you actually do the work to analyze what you're actually hearing when things are going wrong, it's really hard for you to fix those things. So again, these are things that are hiding in the shadows of our minds and our hearts that are causing the suffering. So the question you need to ask yourself is, whose voice are you hearing when things are going wrong? And what is that voice saying to you? If you can't think of that right now, I want you to remember this question the next time something goes wrong, or that you're feeling depressed about something or upset about something in your life. And I want you to take a moment to stop. And I want you to ask yourself, what am I hearing? What am I saying to myself internally? And whose voice is it? Okay, let's move on to 3. What do you fear feeling? Because this is the root of why we run away from things, or maybe why things have been locked into the shadows for us. Now, some things will be locked in the shadows for us because it was the only way for us to deal with it at the time when we didn't have the emotional tools to deal with it, or even the critical thinking. And this is why it's really important to kind of review these things as we grow and get older. And this means throughout life, right? Because you can be 70 years old and reviewing things of life. And each time you do a review of your life, you are going to see a different layer that you're able to understand that maybe you wouldn't have even seen 20 years ago. So you want to ask yourself, what things do you fear? Because the things say in your childhood you might have been really afraid of, those things were protecting you, right, to keep it at bay, but now it's actually harmful. So what you need to do is bring those fears, whatever it is that you're fearing, you need to take another look at those. And it's not that you're bringing those fears back up into your life, because a lot of times you don't have to be afraid of those things anymore, but they're so embedded in who you are that you're still reacting out of those things. So if you can think of anything right off the top, I want you to write down some of the things that you fear, and I want you to really just take a moment to savor that question and think about it. And if you have something right away, great. If you do, write those things down and then write, where do they come from? Where did that come from? Where did I learn that? Who told me that? Who taught me that? Okay? Was it me, and why? Why did I have that fear? Ask those questions, because again, every question that we're asking is about revealing something that is hiding in the shadows of who you are and how you respond to life. Number 4, what secrets are you keeping? Really think about this, because we all have something, and it may not be some kind of, gossipy, scandalous secret. It might be something that we feel we fall short of, and we're doing everything that we can to kind of hide that from people. Maybe it is something scandalous that we're afraid that will get out. Think about what those things are. And what I always tell people is that when you have things that you're keeping secrets from, the best way to claim your power is just to own it. A lot of times we hide things from other people as well, or ourselves. But if we're hiding things from people and those things are in the shadow, it's because we feel that we're going to be judged. And what I always say is the best way to remove that fear of being found out or losing your power or your respect is to own it and to choose how to release that information to whoever it is. Maybe it's a one-on-one thing. Maybe it's somebody that you just haven't told everything to, and they're your intimate partner, and they just don't know the details of you that way. And you're afraid to share that because maybe you're afraid of judgment. The best way to remove that fear and have that shadow lingering, causing suffering inside you, is to simply own it, and then to have integrity and to share it with the person that you can trust. Now, I don't recommend that you go around sharing your secrets and private business to people that you don't trust. But in some cases, you may need to do that if the secret is so big. I mean, if you were famous and you had a big secret and somebody was threatening you with it, I would say on your own timing, release it so that you can own it and no one else has power over you. Well, it's the same thing with your personal life. If there's something that you're keeping secrets of that are really affecting you emotionally, and it's in your head just kind of swirling around in there, the best thing for you to do is bring those secrets into the light, share them with the person that you trust, and let them know, I was afraid of telling you this because, right? And by doing that, you are releasing anything that you are fearful of, or any judgments that you fear. And sometimes we fear things and it's worse in our head than it actually is. And the simple act of talking it out with a trusted advisor or somebody that you really care about will remove that fear from you. Now, secrets can be different. So what I want to ask you is there anything in your life that you are keeping a secret, meaning that you just don't want somebody to know because you think maybe they'll look at you differently, or maybe it's a secret that you feel you need to keep because it makes you less than? I want you to really review that, because a lot of times, we can be in any area of life around all different kinds of people, and you're going to have good people and bad people, smart people and dumb people. And we're thinking that we're comparing ourselves to some elevated version of other people who have perfect lives, and they just don't. The truth is, everybody carries some secrets around, whether it's something, a real secret, or something that we're just secretly thinking about ourselves that causes our suffering. Okay? So I want you to write those things down, and this is going to set the format for the shadow work session and course that you're about to get. Now, the course that I want to offer to you is called Unlock Your Hidden Power. And what you're going to get in that is several free videos, really unpacking everything that we talked about here. And you're also going to get, I think it's like a 50-minute session, really unpack the issues that happen around shadow work. And so what I want you to do is I want you to take this course, and I want you to really take it into yourself. And at the end of this course, you will have a different perspective of yourself. You will be free of any of these issues of shadows in your life, because you will be actively working on correcting those things. You might even have them corrected by the end of the class. And then you will also not only get a certificate by Udemy, but you will also get an email to email me for your accredited certificate. So I hope that you are so excited to take this class. The next thing that you need to do is go into the description and click that link. That link is going to take you to the next step where you're going to input some information and you're going to be directed right to the course where you can get started. I'm so excited that you decided to listen to this video that is leading you directly into a free course. Let me tell you a little bit about POBA before you go. Place of Bliss Academy, which we have the acronym for, which is POBA, is an academy that I am the founder and director of. It has over 48,000 students. We're in over 170 countries, and it's in over 44 languages. POBA is a global company and a global brand. It's a small accredited academy. So I'm so excited that you will now be part of the POBA community. I have so many other free things that I offer, including the Bliss Friday Love Letter. Without further ado, go down in the description and click your link and get started today. Bye! Oh yeah, and POBA also, with over 48,000 students at the time of making this video, we have 4.8 stars on average. So yay! Okay, I'll see you there. Bye. See you in class.